Hi guys, this is Jack at the Paranormal Intelligence Agency. Today I want to explore a really disturbing mystery, and that is the missing 411 disappearances of people in our national park system. A researcher named David Paulides, as many will know, discovered that there were unexplained disappearances occurring in our national park system. By some estimates, upwards of 1,600. They all seem to fit the same profile. And I will present in this film evidence that one of the primary suspects, which is Sasquatch or Bigfoot, may in fact be responsible for many of these disappearances. Recently, I was reviewing some of David Paulides' videos on the missing 411 cases, and I watched one of his episodes about berry pickers going missing. This caught my attention because one of the two cases he presents was a boy within earshot of his parents who heard him scream halfway, and then it sounded to them like the scream got muffled. David offered up the theory in his video that perhaps the child was either purposely muffled by a hand, or perhaps fell through a doorway of some kind, perhaps into another dimension. This caught my attention because it is one of the only cases where the victim was in earshot at the time of their disappearance and a scream was heard out of them, which was muffled. I believe the highest probability for that is that a hand went over his mouth. And the primary suspect in the forest that has hands would be Sasquatch. What you're seeing are maps of the clusters of missing 411 cases on the top map, and the bottom map shows the cave systems of North America. When examined closely, one can see that they are a spot-on match. Many Native American tales have instances, have oral traditions about these creatures living underground and in cave systems. It is interesting to note that, as you can see, all of these are reported Sasquatch encounters. They match both the missing 411 cluster and the cave system map. It is far too much of a coincidence for there not to be a connection of some kind. One of the major cluster areas is in Yosemite National Park, and a famous Bigfoot video analyst named Thinker Thunker, as he goes by on his YouTube channel, did an extensive analysis of 4 Sasquatch which were captured on the national park camera system overlooking one of the geysers. And here is his analysis.
Let me just zoom in. We see, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 Bigfoots on screen at the same time hunting them. It's a world record. So thank you guys for watching, and just kidding, stick around and we will take a closer look. Right there, he's back here just behind these trees, and I just simply took a copy of him, put him up here for scale. And we can see that, remember, bison are measured at their shoulders, 5 to 6.6 feet at their shoulders, I believe, which means the hump is even taller. So just suffice it to say, that's one really big guy. And something completely bizarre about him is he has non-human body ratios. And you can easily tell that by looking at his arm, which is almost as long as his leg. Whereas your arms are 20% shorter than your legs, just like mine, just like every other human on the planet, male or female. We all have pretty much, plus or minus small degrees, the same body ratios. So that makes this guy one of, if not the rarest human on the planet. And again, keep in mind, he's really much bigger than this because he came from way back over there. Let's see, I can only guess, but that's maybe back to the river, across the bridge, and back this way. 50, 75 yards, who knows? Maybe somebody familiar with this area could verify that for us. But the further away you are, the smaller you appear. So this guy is taller. How much? We can only guess. But what if he were, say, that much taller? You know, it's at least possible. And that would make him not only extremely rare, but incredibly big. And there's something else about him. Well, for one, he's either incredibly brave, incredibly hungry, or incredibly stupid, because these bison could get back to him in, I'm guessing, about 4 to 6 seconds. And at that point, he would truly be in a world of hurt. Okay, now I'm going to just scrub through and try to find where we get our first glimpse at our two-legged friends up there. And I'm seeing something right there. And, I can't tell if that's vapor tricking my eye or what, so we'll just keep moving. And Buffalo 3 there has got to stop and do his little buffalo business. But when you got to go, you got to go, And right there, I do see something. So keep your eyes peeled for right up here, and we'll see all 4 single file. And I'm just scrubbing back and forth. See them sneaking through up there, coming up downwind. Sneaky little trick. Picture here, and we're going to see something pretty amazing. Now, for one, we see a little camera pan. I don't know if you've ever gone out and played with these webcams like this, but oftentimes you'll find where you can pan them left and right a little bit or switch to different camera views. But what's important here, watch Buffalo 4. He's right here by this little, he or she's right here by this little tree. And then we see the camera move right there, and the buffalo are in the same position. So there hasn't been a shift in time, only a little camera pan. And that is important because watch our 4 two-legged friends way back here. They're going to travel 100 yards or better within seconds. So here we go. I'm going to just start scrubbing slowly forward. And now the buffalo are pretty much moving the entire time. It's not like there's a lot for them to stop and graze on. And boom, already the 4 made it to right here. And I'll scrub back and forth. See where they are now? Now think about that. Could you and your friends put on some monkey suits and risk freezing cold temperatures and scalding hot water from geysers and being trampled to death by wild buffalo? Could you run? Could you sprint that entire distance in a matter of seconds? I would like to see that, because they did this. Whoever these 4 are, they did it without ever once alerting the buffalo. We never see the buffalo stop and look back in that direction. They just keep moving through, and these guys are in full-out stealth mode. Okay, so here I've zoomed in, and we can see the 4 walking. We can see them through the trees and through the steam. Now, if you believe this is CGI, then I'm not trying to be mean, but boy, you do not have the slightest inkling of what CGI is or how it works. CGI at that point is just some sort of magic to you, and you use it to explain away everything. But I can tell you that there is no way. I mean, you would have to take a live shot and then cut out these trees and the steam and mask out every little bit of in between the pine needles and all that. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of man hours just to superimpose in these animated characters or whatever you think they are. And I'm telling you, no, it is not CGI. And if you believe it is, then prove it. Show us some examples. Anyway, moving on, I've got something really amazing I want to show you. So here's the first guy walking through, and the second, and I say guy, I don't know what they are. And now look at the 4th. It is what? Heads taller than the other 3. And the first guy we saw when I had him beside the buffalo, he was 7 foot or better. So if this guy is now heads taller than somebody who's 7 foot tall, that means that we have one of the world's tallest human beings out here on this hoax, if you need to believe it's a hoax. Okay, so now I'm going to let this just run through real time, let it loop a time or 2. And there's Pee-wee, the first guy we saw, the 7-footer, and he's walking on out by himself while the others stay in hiding. And watching through this time, we'll see his left foot or left leg's hurting a bit. He's hobbled a bit there. But don't you wish you could run superhuman speeds with a hurt foot or leg? Or hey, maybe while running, say, 20 or 30 miles an hour through the forest and snow, maybe he pulled a hamstring or something. Who knows? And then the whole shot ends when the camera pans off to the geyser going off.
Now we're going to look at Colorado, which is also a major cluster area of the missing 411 cases. The photograph that you're looking at was captured by a very good Bigfoot researcher in Colorado named Mark Para. And you can see from this photograph just how well these creatures can blend into their surroundings, almost like another tree. And in Colorado, we have something very, very similar. We have cave systems matching Bigfoot sightings, matching missing 411 cases. And what I'm going to show you is yet another example of what might be responsible for all of the missing 411 cases in Colorado. Now, it's true that Sasquatch may not fit every point on David Paulides' profile points, but most of the cases only fit 2 or 3 of those, and Sasquatch fits 4 or 5. Here is video from a rear backup camera of a car from a couple who thought they had hit a deer. They stopped. The female had her phone camera out and had the presence of mind to film as she was backing up to see what it was they hit. And the Sasquatch popped out of the bushes and began to pursue the car. You can also see the analysis of this on Thinker Thunker's channel. The creature had to be absolutely enormous, as it dwarfs a cyber model of LeBron James, as you will see on that film. David Paulides also mentioned that Bruce Maccabee's wife, Jan Maccabee, was, as people know who have seen his films, was deer hunting on her property when she had an encounter with what she described as a cloaked being or a predator being. I have a video, actual video footage of these creatures on my film titled Invisible Predator in the Woods, which you can find on my YouTube channel. And she even took a picture of it. Now, David Paulides believes that this photo and her encounter is one of the linchpins of this phenomenon. And as you can see on the left-hand side, it looks like hair, strands of hair, on an arm perhaps. And many people believe that Sasquatch has the ability to cloak itself, to blend into its surroundings so well that it doesn't even appear like it's there, or has the mental ability to cloud people's minds. One of the newest and most shocking discoveries made by Dr. Kurt Buchanan, a PhD who went to Johns Hopkins University, compared all of David Paulides' 411 cases to the moon phases and discovered something truly amazing, that the majority of the cases took place when the moon was either 75% full or better, or was 10% full or less. In other words, it appears as though whatever is causing these disappearances, it likes to hunt when there's a lot of light, and it likes to hunt when there's almost no light. This matches perfectly a report that came out of the Journal of Animal Ecology, which has linked lunar phases with a change or in the overall behavior of predators. The fact that the lunar cycle has been discovered, and the fact that math does not lie, nor do the probability percentages, the moon cycle will have to become the primary point of research that all other evidence has to be compared against. Thanks for being with me, guys.
You have been watching a show on the CPI-ParaWorld YouTube channel. If you like our programming, please help us to keep bringing it to you by liking and subscribing, and it's free. Thank you.